All right, so I brought Steph on because she's actually been feeling a lot worse about what's going on here, even more than me, because I can handle these things a bit better, but it's been fucking crazy what's going on here. And if you're in pretty much any country that's not Canada, you've pretty much been laughing at us for the past 6 months, guaranteed. Because if you're specifically in Canada and in Ontario, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The restrictions here are absolutely ridiculous. Mm-hmm. They have not changed or loosened whatsoever. They basically, the last time they opened up was around last October. They tightened in November, and they haven't changed since. Some of you who live here might say, oh, Matt, actually, they did open up for the very first week in April. Yeah, well, it was like 4 days, so it barely even fucking counts. 4 days for the last 7 months almost. And while every other country is opening up, and not just opening up, but also even allowing people to, you know, hang out, do sports, go into pools, events, concerts, not wear masks, we are making no changes. Even the most basic changes like buying clothes. So the first thing is the absolute insanity. Like, we can't even do shopping here. The only stores we can go into are grocery stores, and stores that are like department stores where they sell groceries and other stuff. You can only buy groceries from those stores. And it's absolutely ridiculous, because what's the fucking point? What are they accomplishing by not letting us buy things that they consider to be non-essential? Well, actually, even before that, what gives them the right to say this is non-essential, or that's non-essential, or that's non-essential?
Yeah, exactly.
Steph actually went to Walmart and took this video.
Apparently it's a work in progress to comply with the Covid-19 rules. So obviously you see hats and visors, so they want you to get sunburnt. Bags, so they don't want you to go to the beach to carry your shit. Hats, again, they want you to get sunburnt. Oh, and look, what are these? These are masks that apparently we're supposed to be wearing, and they are apparently non-essential according to the government. What? Oh, and even surgical masks. I'm sorry, what? Seriously? Surgical masks? What the hell? What is this? And of course, travel stuff, which is normal, but what the fuck is this shit?
Can you believe that? Even the fucking mask section is blocked off.
Yeah, it was really weird. I was like, I had to walk past it again. I was like, am I seeing this correctly? Because it's not just the fabric masks, it's also, I saw surgical masks. But then I realized afterwards that it was a travel mask section, but it's still a mask, regardless of travel or not. So masks, travel or not, should be essential. Doesn't matter if they're made for comfortable traveling, it's still a mask. So the fact that it was blocked off just sickens me.
Like, that was probably the most ridiculous. Multiple things are ridiculous, but that was probably the worst, because that's something that they're demanding we wear, and you're calling it non-essential. I almost want to fucking claim that I've lost my mask, show that video and say, hey, I went to Walmart to buy a new one, but they didn't let me. Now I have to go here without one, just so that I have an excuse to not wear one. Like, how fucking psychotic is Doug Ford and Trudeau? I know Trudeau is an absolute fucking idiot. But over the past months, we've seen how stupid Doug Ford is as well. But even just talking about essential products as a whole, multiple things are essential. I remember they actually lifted a restriction on one essential item that was, I believe it was acne cream, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because they were saying, like, oh, because acne cream was considered non-essential, so they blocked it off. And then people were like, well, actually, I need it because of this and that. And they went, oh, okay, sorry, you can buy that now. That? Okay, so, but here's the thing. Shoes are still blocked off. Clothing is still blocked off. Work clothing like scrubs or construction type stuff, those are blocked off. Multiple things in the pharmacy are blocked off. Bathroom related things.
Like toilet paper holders and curtain rods, those are blocked off.
Curtains or things like
plungers.
If
you want to go that far.
Like, just random things that a person needs day to day.
Yeah,
are blocked
I'm pretty
off.
sure light bulbs are blocked off too.
Light bulbs.
I'm not sure.
If you need any tools to fix things around your home, fuck you. It's just every single thing that, because the thing is, when people hear the word essential, they usually do mean food, which is fine. But there are also many other things in life that we just need. I believe even baby stuff. Like baby clothes or even diapers, not diapers.
Diapers were not, wipes were not, baby food was not, but baby clothing, baby shoes, baby toys, Yeah.
They have
Like kids' toys, coloring books.
Yeah, kids' toys. And how important is that too? Because many kids kids are going through we're all going through a depression, but kids are going through a really bad depression because they're younger and not used to this, and they can't even buy toys to keep themselves occupied.
Exactly. Toys, books, coloring books, school supplies, office supplies for work, arts and crafts, like, it's ridiculous. If you want any of those things, you have to order them online and probably pay, double, triple the price?
It is insane to order online. And the thing is,
and shipping, too.
And shipping. And the thing is, I've actually heard people say, well, what's the big deal? Just do, if you don't want to order things to be shipped, which is more, do curbside pickup.
Oh,
well, the thing is, yeah, you can do that, but it's such a fucking pain in the ass. Because the thing is, like, first of all, who wants to do a curbside pickup when you're trying to buy multiple things? It's okay when you just hold one thing in your hand and go home, but if you don't drive especially, it's fucking horrible to do a curbside pickup. And if you are doing things online, grocery delivery after the hidden fees is an additional $35.
Yeah.
I ordered actually grocery delivery from Walmart.
Yeah.
Because we had a discount code of $30 off on Uber Eats, and they do grocery delivery now. But the thing is, the $35 that was off because of the code was put back on because of the hidden fees.
Oh, yeah.
From everything from convenience to processing, tipping, delivery, tip.
Yeah.
I think there was 6 or 7
city fee, maybe.
I think there was in total 7 hidden fees, which
the COVID fee, Trudeau's freaking taxing fees.
It literally totaled an additional $25, $30. And imagine doing that every week when you're buying your food. It's an absolute fucking disgrace. And speaking of, and by the way, in terms of what's essential, there was this guy, I'm not sure if he did it on purpose, like he was just trying to make a point, but the thing is, his point still stood even if he was lying. He was in his car, and he filmed his feet saying, I don't have shoes. So I'm trying to go into Walmart to buy myself some, because he literally showed himself in his socks. And they showed him and said, and the girl there was like, sir, you can't come in here without shoes. And he went, yeah, I know, I'm actually going in there to buy shoes. But he wasn't allowed in unless he was already wearing them.
Yeah.
But he couldn't buy them because of the COVID restrictions.
Exactly.
And they wouldn't let him in to buy shoes because he wasn't wearing fucking shoes. An absolute fucking disgrace. And speaking of disgraces, we could talk about Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fraudci. I apologize. This guy is out of his fucking mind. Even the CDC has told him, and our leaders like Doug Ford and Trudeau, that restrictions need to be lessened. And they're not even listening anymore.
Nope.
At this point, they're doing it for control, and I think they're fully aware that they are.
Yeah. I actually hate being a Canadian. I'm disgusted to even think that's my nationality. I'm disgusted to even be a Canadian citizen. I've asked Matt numerous times to move to Florida, because in Florida everything's open. Disney World actually just announced, because of Universal Studios, but regardless, they followed along, that outside you have to wear a mask when entering the park, but when you're walking around Main Street or anywhere in Disney World that's outside, you can have the option to not wear a mask. The only place you have to wear masks are in lines for rides and on the ride itself, and then if you're in a store or restaurant. And they've reduced the distancing from 6 feet to 3 feet, and they've taken off, you know how you separate things?
Yeah.
Every other, they've taken that off.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's an absolute joke what's going on, because they really don't have the right to tell people, to basically force people's lives to be nothing. Because the thing is, like, the people who are afraid, they will just stay home. If you lessen the restrictions, people will still follow rules outside. People will still wear a mask or distance. But to keep people locked in their homes, which is what's happening here, people are locked in their homes. Even if we walk the street, we're nervous.
Yeah.
But we're locked in our homes. We can't even buy certain things from the grocery store or from a department store because this is blocked off, that's blocked off, this is blocked off. It's an absolute joke.
Yeah.
People should be able to choose. The people who are afraid, they can choose to stay home. The people who are not afraid can choose to go out. It's not even about the restrictions. It's about the fact that you're taking away choices and freedoms from people.
Exactly.
And our country, it's actually been admitted multiple times by people who work in like legal systems, politicians who are not stupid. Very few of them, by the way. And they're literally saying that Trudeau and Doug Ford are literally violating Canada's Charter of Rights. For those of you in the US, the Charter of Rights is basically, for you, it would be the amendments. It's just what we call it. Listen to this absolute hypocrisy. You may have heard, it was only a few months ago, they were saying, because the thing is, people thought that getting the vaccine meant that you can now do whatever you want. You can take the mask off, you're vaccinated, right? That was the idea. Then, and I don't know if this is worldwide. I don't know if it was just Canada or if the CDC said it, or if it was just like the Peel GTA area of where we live, Toronto. But they were saying, actually no, the vaccine doesn't stop you from getting COVID. It just prevents you from dying from it. That's what they were saying. And then, so that's why they said, even if you're vaccinated, you still have to wear a mask because you won't die. But you might get it. But you just won't die from it. Then, just recently, I think it was only like no more than a week ago, Fauci and the other doctors started saying, oh, if you're vaccinated, you can take it off. Make up your mind. Either you can get it, but you won't die, or nothing will happen at all and you're perfectly fine. They're trying to say both. And somehow that makes scientific sense at all. And the thing is too, if the goal here was to prevent you from getting it, then you have to keep your mask on, and you're just lying and basically changing your answer based on what's going on in a certain country.
Yeah.
But if your idea was to prevent death, well, that's not really beneficial either, is it? Because even before all this shit, it had a 98.9 survival rate.
Actually, it was higher. It was like 99.5 or something like that.
No, it changes based on how many people have it.
Oh, okay,
but the percentage was levitating between 97 to 99 for a very long time.
Yeah.
And if the fucking vaccine doesn't prevent you from getting it, those numbers didn't really improve, did it? Oh, it went from 98.5 to 98.7. Oh, wow. That was totally worth the fact that people are actually dying from everything that's not COVID related.
Yeah.
Well, it's related to the pandemic, but it's not related to actually getting COVID. For example, 80% of all people who have died from COVID were fat. 80% of the deaths were fat people. And people are getting fat as a result of being stuck in their fucking homes. Yeah. So by the restrictions, let's make it very simple. The restrictions are actually causing more deaths than the virus is.
Oh yeah,
because,
sorry, to add on to what you were saying about people are getting fat from the restrictions, if you go to Walmart and you want to buy a bike, a treadmill, a yoga mat, a yoga ball, weights, anything related to fitness, it's considered non-essential.
Yeah.
If you want to go outside and run, you're welcome to run.
Yeah.
But the thing is, who's gonna fucking go outside and run because they're so afraid to leave their homes because of this shit?
And too depressed to leave their homes.
Yeah, and like because of what Trudeau and Doug had put out about cops policing everywhere to make sure people are distancing, making sure people are wearing masks, making sure people, are out for a valid reason. People don't want to get arrested or ticketed or fined because they're going for a walk to get some exercise. Like,
for those of you, by the way, who don't live here and you heard about the whole police state thing here, it was allowed to happen. Like Doug Ford said, yeah, go ahead and turn into a police state. Yeah. But the cops, see, this is how ridiculous Doug Ford and Trudeau are. This is how sociopathic they are. That even the cops said, no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, exactly.
That is the most fucking insane thing we've ever. If even the cops are saying that's too crazy, even for us, there's a fucking problem here. So even though it was talked about, it never actually happened because the cops were like, we're not fucking doing that. So it didn't actually happen. But the fact that it was even approved of is insane enough.
Yeah.
And and back to the whole thing about people being fat. It's like most people who have died were fat people, but all of us who are getting fat as a result of not being able to leave our homes and depression, anxiety, suicide attempts, and all this shit.
Oh yeah.
we're not allowed to exercise to keep the weight off unless we're just walking outside. That's it. What we can do is walk. We can't, work out. I mean, of course, people can work out in their homes, but it's about the availability. People need to be able to do things. I mean, for God's sakes, that's like saying, well, it's okay that kids can't play with board games and toys because they can play with a piece of paper.
Yeah.
It's like, but that doesn't make it okay. Just because a kid can play with the internet doesn't mean that they're not damaged from not playing with toys and stuff. And they need variety.
Yeah, and like what you said about playing with the internet. The internet is not a safe place.
Not anymore.
Yeah, that's what I mean, though. It's not a safe place. I mean, I'm sure at one point it was, but like for our generation, we were playing Neopets and like stuff like that. But kids now, they'll go on Facebook, they'll go on Instagram, they'll go on Twitter. They're not protected from the world anymore like we used to be. They will see everything that we see.
And parents don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Like, we live in an apartment and we can see lots of things because we have a balcony. I got told when I was on an elevator one day that a building across from us, a teenager tried to jump over the balcony and kill himself. I don't know if it actually happened.
Just outside our window here, the other building, a kid tried to commit suicide because of all this shit that's going on. And it's not just him. There's actually been people all over the world who have hit this level of desperation through their depression. And this is just one example, but this person lived in that fucking building right there. And for it to be so close to us, it really hits home that this is not just what people think it is. This is so fucking serious. What is going on in this country is an absolute disgrace to what the country of Canada used to be and our entire Charter of Rights.
Yeah.
Multiple doctors have said that Canada right now and the people who are running it are a disgrace. That is the word that is used. An absolute fucking disgrace. And us, the regular people, are not the problem here. It's not about us not following rules and all this bullshit. Because you know what? How about changing the tactics?
Yeah.
How about,
absolutely.
As it was said, insanity is the idea of doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
You know, the SJW mentality. Doing the same thing over and over again or saying the same thing over and over again and somehow thinking, things will get better, things will change. Yeah, they didn't change. What about the U.S.? The U.S. actually tried different alternatives.
Exactly.
And when they did that, things actually worked.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, their population is approximately 350 million people. Canada's population is just 40 million people.
It is?
And we're having and we're actually having more problems with this than a country with more people. And a disease like COVID that spreads from person to person like a domino effect would normally be worse in a country with more people, but it's worse here because of how it's being run. People are not the problem. Idiots will say, it's because you're going out without a mask and having parties.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's the people who are running this country. Now, it's not the whole country, by the way. These restrictions are mostly just in Ontario, which is the most populated province in the whole country. So it does make sense in that regard. But then again, that is Trudeau's fault because he doesn't spread people out in this fucking country. He's an idiot.
Of course not. But I think my cousin lives in Alberta, and I think my aunt, I was talking to her a few days ago or whatever, and she wanted to go there to visit her. But apparently, so I don't know if this is Ontario or Canada-wide, but she was saying that cross-border, like cross-province, like city to city, they've closed that down. So I don't know if it's like Mississauga, Brampton, Oakville, Milton, that kind of city to city, or if it's driving from Ontario to Alberta. You can't drive, so they've almost closed the Canadian border for Canadians to cross to Canadian provinces.
Well, yeah, and let's not forget traveling as well is an absolute is a fucking disaster here, an absolute fucking disaster. So they force you, if you're trying to leave Canada, good luck.
Yeah.
You have to first reserve a hotel that you will stay at for 3 days when you come back to Canada.
Yeah.
This hotel can cost hundreds or even thousands of dollars based on the hotel.
Per person.
Per person, based on the hotel that you take. And if you don't reserve the hotel before you leave, you can be fined for that too.
And that's up to $3,000 a person.
Yeah, it's fucking insane.
Yeah.
And then they also want a COVID test before you leave and in the place you travel to before you come back. And here's the funny thing. You know how people always say, oh, healthcare is so expensive in the US? Well, here's the funny thing. To leave Canada, the COVID test is $200 per person. In the US, to come back is only $50 per person.
Wait, really?
Yeah. That's how you know how fucking insane the prices are for healthcare when even Canada's prices are higher than the US.
Yeah.
And we talk about healthcare in Canada being superior or cheaper or whatever. Meanwhile, at least for COVID tests, we're spending more money because they are desperate for us not to leave. Even for those of us who had a vacation scheduled before this all started and we had to take it during, those people are not allowed to go. And to add on to the insanity of the traveling, get this as well. There are many people who tried to get around paying for that. And what they did was, the way to do it is you fly into Buffalo and then just drive or even walk across Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls to come back into Canada. And those people actually managed to, get across without paying for all this insanity. But let's just talk about the insanity of the idea. People are being forced to spend 3 days at a hotel to quarantine. In what fucking planet is this better than just going home?
Yeah.
People are much safer and isolated in their own house than in a hotel that they're sharing with other fucking people. And by the way, don't forget, to even do the hotel thing, you have to already be negative.
Yeah.
What's the lot? You're fucking negative! Exactly. So why are you going to the fucking hotel to begin with?
Like, you're more likely to contract COVID while at the hotel because people bringing you food could be contaminated, people bringing you cleaning supplies, people checking you into the hotel. They could all be contaminated and you don't know. Yeah. Because there's asymptomatic testing.
It's not even just that though. It's the fact that it's a fucking hotel.
Yeah,
There's many people in a hotel that you are being forced to stay at when you're already negative, when you might become positive while you're fucking there.
Exactly.
It's literally, I think it's safe to say that this hotel thing has nothing to do with COVID.
Yeah.
It's just about
control.
How can we figure out how to make people spend so much money that they just cancel their trip entirely?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's just a way for them to say, if we pile on this charge and this charge and this charge and this charge, maybe they won't travel.
Yeah.
It's an absolute sick and twisted and sociopathic way of fucking with people, really. Yeah. And also, get this. This is an incredible article about Fauci, because he said Fauci thinks that the pandemic proves systemic racism because apparently most people who got COVID are people of color. Okay, wow. I'm not even going to talk about how stupid that notion is in terms of science, but let's just make one thing very fucking clear. COVID is not attracted to you based on your skin color. It's just fucking not. And let's be honest, the fact that Fauci even said that kind of diminishes his reputation as a doctor. I'm sorry, it kind of does.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm watching this show, New Amsterdam. I don't know. But the thing is, all of those doctors in there are not prejudiced. Like, yes, it's a show and whatever, it's fiction. But at the same time, all those doctors are smarter than Fauci.
But anyway, in general, it is absolutely fucking insane what's going on here. Obesity is on the rise, depression is on the rise, suicide is on the rise, anxiety is on the rise, kids' mental development is being stunted, their emotional development is being stunted, their even physical development is being stunted. And if you look at the things that people are dying from, the deaths from COVID are a fraction. No, they're a fraction of the deaths from the restrictions.
Yeah, but the sad part is, all of these deaths that Matt is speaking about, the government will never admit that that's their cause of death. They will write their cause of death as COVID to raise the case numbers.
Yeah, no, they don't care. And they're fully in denial too. Yeah. Like, they're fully in denial. They will actually pretend that, well, if you're dying from the restrictions because of stress or depression or whatever, that's COVID related, so COVID!
Yeah, exactly.
No. It's the fact that you're restricting people's abilities to do anything, whether if it's even just go shopping or exercise. The depression where we live in Ontario, Canada is at its absolute height that it's ever been And COVID restrictions are the problem, not the actual virus itself. It is disgusting. Trudeau, you are a disgusting, disgusting human being. Doug Ford, you are disgusting. You are a disgrace to this country as a mayor, governor, whatever the hell you are. I don't even fucking care anymore. Everything you've done is an absolute. It's basically like Nazi Germany. Every other country is laughing at us, and it's disgraceful. I've even heard people saying things like, oh, well, the actual problem is that we're not getting enough vaccines sent to the country. That's also wrong. It's true that we're not getting enough vaccines sent to Canada, but that's not the reason for all this other bullshit. You could lessen the restrictions, let people live their fucking lives. The people who are afraid and want to get the vaccine first, let them stay home. Like, nobody's saying that the people who want to stay home have to go out. Just let some people live their lives and some people not. And if they happen to get sick or even die, just blame them. But simply saying you're not allowed to is fucking idiotic.
And like, the thing is, the government, the media, everyone is instilling fear in everyone. Like my sister, she's pregnant. You would think a vaccine is not safe for a pregnant woman. I don't know the facts, but she's pregnant. The doctor told her to wait until she's 30 weeks. She went to get her vaccine at 29 weeks. So she's scared.
Why wait until 30?
I don't know, that's what the doctor said. But she didn't wait till 30, she waited till 29. She was 1 week off when she knew the doctor said wait 30 weeks, but she didn't care. She just wanted to get her vaccine because she's been watching the news, she's been brainwashed, and she's scared. I don't blame her for being scared, but what I do blame her for is the government's fault. So I'm not going to sit here and get mad at her for something the government did to everyone. She's been glued to the TV because what else is she going to do? She works from home, she has a dog, she's pregnant. Occasionally they'll go to a cottage, but that's being in another home. So you can't really do anything, go anywhere. Go for walks, sure, but you see everyone with masks, which instills more fear in you. It's just sickening. I can't deal with this world right now. Like, it's disgusting.
It's really bad.
It's
people
disgusting.
like us here in Ontario are struggling so much. And most people, even like some of the dumbest people I've ever seen on the planet, even they are saying that the restrictions are stressing them out more than the actual pandemic is. They look and they see 1% death rate on COVID, whereas a fucking like 60% death rate from other factors. Obesity deaths, stress deaths, suicide, depression. The percent on that is much higher than COVID. But apparently, according to our idiot leaders, COVID's the problem. I love how people like Ford or Trudeau won't even talk about it. They won't even say, I'm very sorry that our restrictions are killing people. We have to, I mean, they don't have to keep the restrictions, but at least say it. Even though it'll sound dumb. They could at the very least say, we're going to figure out ways to help people who are dying from depression, who are dying from obesity, who are gaining weight because they're stuck at home. No, even though that's killing more people. I actually had a mental breakdown not too long ago. And it just kills me. Like, I'm not going to get into it, but like, this is killing me. Like, by far. Because you know how social I need to be, you know that I can't just stay at home. And this is killing me. Like, I love that I'm with you, obviously. Like, that part of it is amazing. But we need to go out, we need to see friends, we need to travel. We need to get out of this fucking country. I am so done with Canada, it's not even funny. I've been done since they announced the lockdown, not this extension, but the extension before that. I've been so done for so long. I mean, how many extensions can there be? There's already been like, what, 80? There's already been like 83 extensions. They keep going. Every 2 weeks they go, oh, it'll end on, you know, let's say like May 14th. Then on May 13th, okay, 2 more weeks. Okay, 2 more weeks. Okay, 2 more weeks. Okay, it's not really 2 more weeks. Why don't you just fucking say it's going to be like 2 years and shut the fuck up, deal with it. Fuck yourself, Canadians. Anyway, we're done.
I am done.